What's up, guys? We got John and Derry from StreetFire.net on the program today, and we've gotten into a little heated debate here at Button Willow Raceway. And we're at a GTR track day, and here he goes showing up with a 370Z. Getting all up in my grill saying how the 370Z is a better sports car than the Nissan GTR. I say this is a better sports car, so we thought we'd bring you guys in on the program and debate it right here for your viewing pleasure. I'm Matt Farah. You're watching Garage419. All right, John, you came in here talking a pretty big game about this Z. Why do you think it's a better sports car?
To be honest, I'm a big fan of the GTR, dating way back into its history. Had this press car from Nissan, thank you Nissan, didn't know what to do with it. Driving it, thought I'd come out to this GTR day. As I'm driving out, I'm thinking, you know, this car, it's got a smaller wheelbase, it's lighter than the previous generation. It harkens back to the soul of the 240Z. And I found it ironic that the GTR just completely blows apart the history of the GTR in that it's just gotten so big and so bloated.
Well, but every car has gotten big and bloated.
Every car has. The Mini is no longer the Mini anymore. That's a given.
The Mini's the Clubman now. But
exactly.
I'm saying the GTR started as the Skyline, which was a sedan.
Yes.
It was just a family sedan. It wasn't until someone dropped the big motor in it that it became a GTR.
It was an M version of what a typical Nissan sedan should be.
Right, so
now
how is that any less representative of its heritage?
Because now what it's become is completely anathema to the way the soul of the car goes. It's the ass kicker review. I get it. It is the biggest, baddest sports car on the planet right now.
It's certainly the biggest and among the baddest.
It's the Barack Obama of automobiles right now. It could do no wrong.
Right.
But I feel like you're so far removed from the driving experience with something like this. And it's ironic because I brought a manual transmission car. I didn't drive I brought the automatic transmission, excuse me.
I noticed that.
I know, so that is a little with the flappy paddle gearbox, if I could channel Jezza for a moment.
And you might actually say that, if you want to talk about driving purity and heritage, the manual version blips for you.
Yes, I know. That's the
one pretend to be a manual. It's got flappy paddles, but that one's got a stick, but it downshifts for you.
True. But this car has become such a technological tour de force that someone to get on a track, excuse me, but any a-hole lawyer from Beverly Hills can bomb around the track, and people would say,
there are quite a few of those doing just that.
Today, let's
but any idiot kid can get in one of these and get on a track. What's better, an a-hole lawyer or an idiot kid?
You can exploit this car a lot more.
You can exploit this car. You can do four-wheel drifts in this thing, and it'll save your ass. That car, you're going to end up going sideways.
And that's where you have like a true enthusiast can drive this car, where you could have just about anybody can drive that car.
So a true enthusiast wants to drift and not get better lap times.
Yes, I would believe so. Yeah, I would argue that point.
I would argue this car is the purest sports car because it has a higher level of performance, pure and simple. This car is faster around a racetrack.
But this car uses so much technology that it distances you.
But you can turn it all off, except for the all-wheel drive. You can turn it all off. And then you can go all day long.
Still too big, still too ponderous, still too heavy. There's not, okay, let's go back. You're more of a Euro guy. I'll take you back.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's just say this. Let's go back to the first gray market 911 turbo, the Widowmaker with the KKK turbos on it, the 4-speed gearbox. When you saw somebody driving that car,
most likely to kill you.
Yes, but when you saw somebody driving that car well,
there's
a purity of purpose involved in that car.
Definitely.
Let's go back to classic Ferrari, the gated manual gearbox.
But I've seen people driving these badly, and I've seen people driving these well, just like I've seen people driving 911s badly and well.
These hide bad driving, though.
I don't think they hide bad driving. I think with the nannies on, they can help you from breaking the car by smashing into something. But once you turn all that stuff off, you still have to have pretty serious skills to be able to hustle this thing around a racetrack.
Wouldn't you say, though, that this car, with all the nannies on it, it removes you too much from the driving experience. When you go down the track with this car,
that thing blips downshifts for you.
True.
It blips downshifts.
Let's go back to the size, though. This car is more compact.
So small is better.
Well, I would say so, given the way that, look at this is a face only the mother of Godzilla can love.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about styling
if we're talking size,
I'm just saying,
911 or Lamborghini Murcielago. Koenigsegg. These are big cars.
Well, Koenigsegg's not Murcielago big.
Maybe not. Maybe it's not.
But Koenigsegg has that appearance. This car is actually wider than the Z33 that it replaces, which is everything else about it is smaller, with the exception of the width. This car, in every measure, is bigger than even the R33 before it. The R33 was a massive car by Skyline standards.
Yeah. We're going to continue this when we come back. I'm going to stop you right here, but we have to sell some advertising. We'll be back in a minute.
Buy an ad.
We generated so much air force and downforce that it burnt the paint on the edge of the spoiler.
Wow,
it made
really?
like a pinstripe. It was really wild.
That's crazy.
Garage419.com. Be there.
All right, we're back with John Naderi from StreetFire.net. He says 370Z is a better sports car. I say the GTR is a better sports car. Now, John, Ferrari has told us that being a good sports car is all about pushing the technology envelope, F1 transmissions, high revving engines, and that kind of thing. And if that's the case, this car is the clear winner.
Even though it was the direction that Enzo's company is going, I feel there's a little bit of me that says he's rolling around in his grave right now with an F1 transmission.
Really? So you think Enzo himself would rather be?
I think he'd rather be rolling the gates himself. I mean, you've driven Ferraris.
I've driven Ferraris.
Matching revs on a 3.2 downshift in a gated Ferrari shifter is much more rewarding. I do not care.
I agree with you.
You're even faster than Michael Schumacher by 21 thousandths of a second.
Actually, this is somewhere where I agree with you.
So this is something that's the dawn of the new age. This is like a Terminator movie here. Where eventually cars will get so fast. You have that Mercedes adaptive control suspension. It just removes you from the driving experience. Now, if this is what it's about, call me gay, which a lot of people have, but I'd rather have.
People have called me gay too.
I'd rather have a Miata.
Okay. I've been called a gay biker.
See, there you go. Yeah. I'd rather have a Miata. I'd rather the purity of a Miata, just the way the car. It's not the fastest, but it's the most fun to go slow in.
So,
and you can't
so you're more slow car fast than fast car slow.
Yes.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'd much rather.
Then what is it about the Z that really makes you say, this is what does it for me?
For this car, actually, the way it rotates, the way you could actually push to the limits on a regular road, which you can't in that, and not this specific model, be it the automatic transmission, but with a manual transmission, and you could turn off the rev matching downshift.
The one thing I will admit, you can turn that off.
You could turn that off, so you can give that the way you can get the back end to rotate around. I mean, it's much. This car,
driftability then.
Driftability. I'm not necessarily. You're the guy wearing the Formula Drift T-shirt.
I am. That's okay. I represent my boy Tanner. I know.
But this car, you can rotate this, but it takes a lot of skill and a lot of balls,
well,
and a lot of track,
a lot of right foot.
track.
A lot of right foot,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
So they're two different cars, really. I mean, look, this is twice the money of that. You know what I mean? You got 35 grand and you've got 75 grand right here.
I'm not saying these are not apples to apples comparisons here, but for purity of purpose.
Purity of purpose, front engine, rear drive, manual transmission, two-seater versus, big electronic transmission, all-wheel drive. It's not apples to apples. That's the bottom line. I happen to prefer this on a racetrack just because it does things that make me go, wow. That's just me, though. That's just me, though. If I was going out with Formula D, I'm 370Z all the way, though.
I'll give you that.
We want to hear what you guys think. Leave a comment below. Is the 370Z the more pure sports car? Is the Nissan GTR the better sports car simply because its limits are higher? I'd like to thank John for being on the program today.
Thank you, Matt.
And we'll see you guys next week right here on Garage 419.
This week on WePCTV.
What if you erased like FDR's identity? So it's like there was a president here,
and it has the yearbook photo with the question mark, just the cartoon. Like,
if I could erase anybody's identity, anyone, it would either be Katy Perry or the Fred guy from YouTube.
WePCTV is brought to you by ASUS and Intel. You dream it, ASUS builds it, Intel inside.